Greetings, everyone. It's great to be with you all. Today, we'll be having the topic Meditation in Depth 10. This continues a series of presentations on meditation. The recordings are on Rosicrucian TV on YouTube if you wish to check those out again. Now, meditation is the key and central practice of spirituality and for the mastery of life. Much progress can be made when it is practiced daily. To help us actually do some meditation before we have the presentation proper, I want to share an image with you that pertains to meditation. You'll see before you here a work by Jean-Paul Lorenz. It's entitled Meditation, and it dates from 1911. You see two figures studying a sacred text, appears to be the Bible. One in deep reflection on the text in the midground behind the person in white, and the one in white in the foreground is turned inwardly in meditation to let those deeper words of the sacred text that ultimately arose from the meditative state of the person who was the writer or channel of the text. That's often a very helpful practice in meditation, is to read something very inspiring from a sacred text or something else that you've chosen, and then take it into meditation for a much deeper understanding of it. Or after we've meditated to read sacred text, then they can have a very an uplifted or new breakthrough and understanding of what was met. Because in meditation, we galvanize all our faculties as a unity, and then we can understand and do more through that and understand things more clearly. The master within, or the divine within, comes forward and intimates guidance in our life in this manner. Another inspiring, another way to look at this work, I should say, and we'll zoom in a little bit more on it here, is that as we take time daily to meditate, and we could think of it as a priority, because it's something that rests and relaxes us and energizes and calms us and galvanizes us to be able to fulfill our duties and mission in life. It's important to be doing it daily, because it has not only an immediate effect in states, but a cumulative effect in traits that we'll discuss later in the presentation. Also, that, as I mentioned, that experience of the meditation also leads us to deep contemplation of things in life, which are beautifully depicted here by artwork by John William Goddard. It's entitled Lycina, a figure from ancient Roman history. The painting is oil on canvas, and it's dates from 1918. But you look at the gaze in Lycina's face, you can see the sense of deep attunement with the divine within. It's a type of state that we enter into when we meditate, or enter into the state of contemplation, particularly after meditation or before meditation. In a way, we go deeper into our understanding of life, and the master within, our true guide, can come forward and animate our being, and we become more and more identified with the master within, not only as our true guide, but as our true nature. Many of the things that we were stuck on, or we were feeling afraid or overwhelmed by, fall to the wayside as we see the way through when the master within declares itself and will work with the holy temple's faculties of the brain and various systems of the body to know how to act and to be. So at this time, with this inspiring images we've just seen on meditation by Jean-Paul Lorenz, and Lycina here before us by Jean-William Goddard, let us take these in as an inspiration to uplift us in meditation now. For the Rosicrucians, they're very practical, and it's very important to have firsthand experience to know what we're talking about and to be able to assist others in guidance and in service. So at this time, I invite you to close your eyes and just let go of the cares of the day, neither holding the inhalation nor holding the exhalation. If you want to keep your eyes partially open, that's fine too. One of the main things is generally to let go of visual stimuli so we can turn inward more. And as you're taking the gentle, neutral breaths, You may wish to breathe a little deeper than you usually do and extend the exhalation longer than the inhalation. That'll automatically activate the vagus nerve, which will then assist the relaxation response to occur, which then allows healing to occur, helping make us whole. Part of the mastership of life is taking mastery of breathing. Surprisingly simple act, but it's one that the Holy Temple's wisdom allows us to work with. And as we spiritualize it on the mystical path, it allows us to enter into deeper and deeper states of calmness and well-being and senses of unity. Just take some time to check in with yourself. No matter what you've been doing today, maybe there was various challenges that occurred. Just check in with yourself how you're feeling. Just fully accept whatever's going on. It's all part of the process of learning and maturing or evolving. Whatever's going on, just accept it. Turning inward in meditation allows us to be more sensitive. And we'll talk about why that's a good thing, an extremely good thing. Meditation helps us embrace challenges in life, just as we were charged by past Imperator H. Spencer Lewis. Whereas embracing challenges and situations in life, we find that we ascend the mountain of illumination more quickly and have a deep satisfaction of learning and growing. And the imagination is then used not to blow things out of proportion, but to see them rightly and how to solve them or resolve them. Just continue to take the deep neutral breaths. With each breath, you may wish to sense the divine within, making itself more and more known to you, allowing you to become more and more identified with it. You can feel the maturation, your evolving process taking place in real time now. There's much the divine within has to reveal to us. The outer nature may think is impossible. When the outer nature surrenders itself fully conscious, the divine within, it is enriched, it is ennobled, becomes far more capable, and far more humble, far more able to do good in the world, have a deeper sense of meaning, purpose. Just continue to enjoy the gentle rhythm of the breath, resonating with the vibrations of the higher octaves of the cosmic keyboard, the great sea of vibrations that constitute existence and spoken of by the Rosicrucians. Now, this concentration on the breath and sensing the presence of the divine within, in a way, concentration on the breath stills the outer mind and gives it activity to the holy temple to allow us to move into deeper and deeper phases of consciousness, from the objective mind to the subjective mind to the subconscious mind and into the overarching cosmic mind, which imbues all other forms of mind and expresses itself through the consciousness of the cosmic consciousness. Even just a few minutes like now with this form of meditation is quite wonderful for our healing and our well-being and our capacity to be good to others and understand others and do what's right for others and ourselves. Whereas the divine within sees that we're serious on the mystical path, it will increasingly respond to us. And we can finally be fully ourselves. Have a deep familiarity where we've been all along. It's just a matter of realizing it more and more. Don't underestimate the simplicity of these acts. Because as we come into the understanding of the divine mind, things are grasped with a great elegance and simplicity that are so complex to the outer nature. Now let us phase into another form of meditation that's closely related to this one that Rosicrucians refer to as the overall exercise. Let's go through the holy temple of the body one time on this occasion to form a unity. Focus your attention, focus all of your awareness on the tips of your toes, the left and right feet. Sense the air of the individual cells with a positive polarity charged in the center of the nucleus of the cell and around its outer border walls, negative polarity. Just like kind of positive, negative charge, electricity, or north and south pole, a magnet. Picture all the tremendous system and order there in the body. The electrons, protons, neutrons, molecules, the RNA, the DNA, the cells imbued with the life force. You may, just thinking about this concentration on the tips of your toes, you may feel a wonderful, enriching tonic effect, a tingling of the vital life force, especially its positive polarity, the cosmic essence. You can sometimes be surprised in how intense that tingling can become. But that's been there all along for us to intensify and realize. Now move through your toes, keeping all your concentration on that part of the body. You may wish to picture a beautiful white light or some other color conducive to your healing at this time, as you concentrate on these different parts of the body to add to the effect, the charging, the vital life force, and the awareness of consciousness throughout the body. Gradually move up through your toes into your left and right feet. Feel the soles there, the top of the foot, the bones, the sinew, the blood flowing, the wonderful circulation, their nerve energy moving. Gradually move up through the foot to the top of the foot, the heel, the ankle, move into the lower foot, and sense there the muscles, the hair, all the wonderful symmetry and order. Gradually up through the lower leg to the knees, back and front, the meniscus, the cartilage, the ball joint, all the wonderful work it does for our mobility. And then up into the thighs, the upper leg. Increasingly sense the body, the holy temple, as a microcosm, mirroring the entirety of the cosmos. For in a way, as we do the overall exercise, we not only move through the microcosm, we move through the macrocosm. Again, let us not underestimate the simplicity of this exercise. It's very deep and profound and allows us to attune with the cosmic. For as we become more sensitive to the holy temple of the body, we're more able to transcend it and move into the higher, more expansive state of consciousness that imbue the holy temple and all of creation. Gradually moving up through the thighs, come to the midsection of your body. Feel where you are seated or lying down there. Move now up through past the solar plexus, a great nexus of nerves and its wonderful work. As you pass through it, charge it, so you concentrate all your attention there. And then move into the vital organs and the spine, our cosmic axis, mirroring the cosmic axis of the universe. As we move up through the vital organs, sense their stupendous actions through the intelligence of the subconscious mind, ultimately guided by the cosmic mind. Feel the rest and relaxation. The Holy Temple likes to relax. It'll respond strongly to these forms of meditation for our healing and well-being and self-transformation. Now move up towards the great heart center with great gratitude for all the work that it does, both physically, psychically, and spiritually. As we concentrate on it, it slows the heart rate to relax. We move into an optimal heart rate variability that helps balance the autonomic nervous systems, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. As we increasingly balance them, we move to a state of enlightenment. All part of the wondrous wisdom of the Holy Temple and the temple of the cosmos that it mirrors. And then gradually move up from the heart to the thymus, the chest, back and front, the bones and the structure there, and to the shoulders. And wherever you're feeling tension, just breathe through that tension or stress. As we charge the vital life force, it'll reduce the pain, transform the situation, affect the healing, the making whole. And once you spend some time on the shoulders, please refocus your attention on the tips of your fingers, and we'll move through the hands and the arms just like we move through the toes and the feet and the legs. Picture on the tips of your fingers all the myriad cells there. The wondrous structure that is our holy temple and body. Move up through the hands, the fingernails, the hair and the blood circulating. Up through the knuckles, through all the joints and the main body of the hand, the palm, the thumb, the wrist, and go up through the lower part of the arm to the elbow, back and front, on all the great work that can be done through the arms. We work as a co-agent with the cosmic. By cosmic, we mean the universal intelligence back of the universe, the cosmos, and all natural spiritual laws that we gradually learn to master as we grow up as human beings on the mystic path, and our weekly lessons as Rosicrucians wonderfully portray to us in a cumulative way. And move up into the biceps, the upper arms, towards the armpits, the joint, our shoulders. As we return back to the shoulders, move up through the neck. Take a moment at the nape of the neck, a wondrous nexus of nerves there, and a helpful bridge between the material and immaterial worlds. As we pass up through the neck, go by the thyroid, a great regulator, and charge it up, assist with the regulation of the body, and then up back in front of the neck, into the jaw, the teeth, the gums, upper and lower lips, the back of the head, that area. Move up through the nostrils and sense the air and the vital life force coming into our noses. Now move to the brain, back of the head, and sense the pituitary gland, great endocrine gland and psychic center that we can charge and help it with its important duties. And then move gradually to the pineal gland, the center of our head, about the size of a pea. Charge it up Sense how it's dampening down the higher octaves of the cosmic keyboard for our impressions, assistance of the holy temple, and our subjective mind. Working with and through the subconscious mind. And concentrate on the upper part of the brain and the myriad connections of the neurons there. Great system of the nerves, mirroring the cosmos, its structure and design. Focalize your attention on your eyelids and eyes, eyebrows, and the third eye between the eyebrows, the forehead, the top of the head and the hair. Feel increasingly the flow of the cosmic essence and the vital life force through our body. Sense oneself microcosm, but also a macrocosm, taking in the structure of the entire cosmos. Soon we'll begin our ascent to the heights of the Celestial Sanctum, but we'll do it in a special way this time, following an exercise specially recommended by past Imperator H. Spencer Lewis. To begin, following the instructions of Liber 777 in an adapted form today, let us say together, may the divine essence of the cosmic infuse my being and cleanse me of all impurities of mind and body, that I may enter the Celestial Sanctum and attune in pureness and in worthiness. So mote it be. Now, fratres and sorors and participants, following the instructions of our past Imperator, we'll ascend to the heights of the Celestial Sanctum by applying the law of correspondence, as above, so below, by descending into our heart. Picture your heart, the center of the holy temple, the center, the temple of the cosmos. Picture your heart as if it's the center of the universe, the center of the cosmos, surrounded by the God consciousness, the divine consciousness. As well, you dwell on the heart center as if it was the entirety of the universe, surrounded by the God consciousness, divine consciousness. Just be still and let the experience unfold, increasingly allowing the outer self to surrender to the experience in good conscience. Let us dwell in this deep stillness now. Just experience whatever there is to experience. Keep coming back to the heart center, the heart of the cosmos, the heart of your being. If you find your mind wandering, just lovingly and gently bring it back to concentration on the heart, at the center of the universe. Now, as we dwell on our heart, the cosmic heart, let us radiate out from our center of our heart, the center of our being, love and well-being from the divine within. To all those who have petitioned the Grand Lodge of the Rosicrucian Order for health and healing and guidance. For all those who may have petitioned your affiliate bodies for metaphysical aid, health and healing. All those that you know are in need of guidance, so strengthening, healing, and all those throughout the cosmos that are in need at this time. Just let the love flow from the heart like a great beam of light in all directions, filling the heart, the universe. We're all in need. Sense your mind expanded out to encompass the entire cosmos and be the cosmic mind. Experience as a cosmic mind. So we radiate love and well-being. Be the cosmic mind. Assume the cosmic mind as the love and well-being flows. Feel the love and well-being being received as it speeds up from you, as it radiates outward. I think you'll find at a certain point you need make no conscious effort for the radiations to continue. And when that occurs, just continue to dwell at the heart center, the center of the cosmos, the center of your being, one with the one, assuming the cosmic mind. Now, fratres and sorors and participants, let us invoke the law of gratitude for this opportunity to apply the law of cosmic attunement and the law of service and many other laws that we learn in our Rosicrucian teachings on a weekly basis. May I wish to express gratitude to all those who have loved you, all those who have guided you, all those who have sacrificed in a good, loving way for you. Radiate love and well-being to them. Before we conclude our period of radiating love and well-being and working with the Council of Solace, and as a silent council, we'll say, if it pleases the cosmic, it is done, so mote it be. We'll conclude our period of metaphysical aid, and we'll soon conclude this period of meditation. Now we'll ascend from the heights of the Celestial Sanctum, or rise up from the depths of our being, assured that this state will continue as a way of life, enriching us, ennobling us, making us all the more capable to be appreciative of others and their needs, the duties we need to discharge daily in service. Let us say together, may the God of my heart sanctify this attunement of self with the celestial sanctum. So mote it be. When you're ready, gradually refocus your attention not only your heart, but that of the whole holy temple. With your mind all the more filled with the cosmic mind and realization. And you may wish to stretch and open your eyes when you're ready. Great. Thank you, everyone. Now continue our presentation, meditation in depth 10. We'll consider some questions about meditation. The first question is, if we're not able to visualize during the ascent to the Celestial Sanctum, is there another way to proceed? Yes, there's many ways to proceed. One is the one ways of meditation we just did. Returning as past imperator H. Spencer Lewis admonished us or charged us, turn to the heart within our holy temple and view it as the center of the universe, or as if it was the center of the universe. Now, one thing that can be mentioned too is that we have to be aware that the capacity to visualize with our eyes closed, that's something that's gradually developed in our Rosicrucian studies and by other means as well. Maybe in your line of work, if you do design or artwork, you've developed your capacity to visualize very well. It can mean at first we don't expect to have really crystal clear images within us. That develops over time, so we don't need to be discouraged by that. A general picture will be fine. Also, I can mention that when we rise up into the cosmos and the cosmic, you may wish to picture yourself feeling go deeper and deeper within yourself and have a deeper sense of calm rather than visual imagery. Also, you may wish to remember certain very deep loving experiences that you've had, or a deep sense of uplifting mystical experiences. Remember those and work with those. Then the way that transcends the visual imagery, but you'll still be moving, rising up into the celestial sanctum nevertheless. Because in a way, that's happening with the celestial sanctum is we're refocalizing our concentration on the cosmic mind in the meditative state. And the rising up inwardly is using the psychic and imaginative capacities to achieve that. But you can do it in other ways by just concentrating on the heart deeply, like we did today, to cause that refocalization. We're always in that state. It's a matter of increasingly realizing it for our outer mind. Another meditation was developed called Meditation from the Center of the Universe by past Grand Master Don O'Neill, passed on to us, was you can visualize yourself already at the center, at a great center of the universe, and just your consciousness expanding out and out and out and out, whether through visual terms or more abstract inward terms. Sense yourself encompassing the entire universe. This is also essentially ascending to the heights of the celestial sanctum. Another question that sometimes comes up and is there really a cosmic axis? Because I know some of you have participated in earlier meditations we've done, applying the booklet, read Liber 777, which we'll give you resources for at the end of this presentation. Karen will paste those resources in for you in the chat and as a PDF attachment. In doing the Liber 77 instructions, one doesn't necessarily have to literally or explicitly picture a cosmic axis. Often I've done it with you, I've done that. And you each can guide their own particular way of following the instructions of Liber 777 and elaborating. Part of the reason that is done is that's based on an experience of cosmic consciousness that was expressed to me by a particular frater in our order, where there was a great ascent to the center of the cosmos. And just as past imperator Ralph M. Lewis and past imperator Christian Bernard emphasized to us, we need to take our cosmic experiences and emulate them, apply them. And we can do that by how we design our meditation experiences. Because in a way, our meditation experiences are designed to take us into those mystical experiences we've had or we anticipate having. And as we mirror or model our meditation techniques on our ascents of mystical nature into cosmic consciousness, it'll assist us to make that ascent. And we'll realize later when we have the deepest cosmic experiences, we will realize the cumulative effect of all those meditations that we were doing. We've been building up the fire so it can jump the river. All this is about is mysticism, but not necessarily the popular understanding, but the truer one, or the one that mystics have. But by mysticism, we mean the full maturation of the human being, the art and science of love, the coming into oneness, the realization of the cosmic or cosmic consciousness or the universal consciousness. Now, is there really a cosmic axis? We could say yes, because then the language is used in multiple senses. We have language that goes from the literal sense, figurative, metaphorical, tropological, or moral, all the way to the anagogical or the mystical. And as we mature, we become increasingly involved with those different senses because they have an increasing sense of comprehensiveness of understanding. As we move to the anagogical understanding, the mystical, there's an increasing sense of wisdom and knowledge. We move from conceiving we move from perceiving to conceiving, or we move from information to knowledge to wisdom. Now our spine, as I mentioned during our meditation, it forms a cosmic axis. Also, the divine within is at the center of existence. You know, some will say, well, you know, with increasing scientific knowledge, we have this great sense of the vastness of the universe, and humans have this humbling experience of being at the center of the universe. I agree it's humbling, but that experience is primarily for the outer self. The divine within has always been at the center of the cosmos and the cosmic. By the law of correspondence, or as above, so below, the microcosm and the macrocosm. And we have that experience in our meditation exercise that we just did. This gives us a much more deeper, more profound, meaningful way of living. Now, maybe wondering, well, how about I take it very literally in terms of spinning of the universe? Well, it's quite remarkable that throughout the universe, at the microscopic and micro scale, right through to the larger scale structure of our solar system, our Milky Way galaxy, the galaxies, the clusters of galaxies, the superclusters, of which are clusters of clusters of galaxies, to the cosmic web, to the entire universe. There's evidence of spinning going on. Now, we know that galaxies come, and by certain advanced telescopes that have been developed that can actually very rapidly, even over the course of an hour, take a huge number of observations of galaxies and measure whether they're spinning or not. There's been scientific studies developed, for example, is there a predominance of galaxy spinning in a particular direction, counterclockwise or counterclockwise or clockwise. Because you think of it as just homogeneous. It could be 50% clockwise, 50% counterclockwise. But it's interesting to find that that isn't the case. It's slightly different, a small amount, maybe about 1% off, 50% above or below, 49 to 51%, but quite statistically significant when you're dealing with thousands of galaxies. Also been very intriguing from recent work is that different sections of the universe, of the cosmos, there's predominance of a little more, not all counterclockwise, but just slightly more counterclockwise in that part and slightly more counterclockwise in this part. So physicists and astrophysicists are gradually gathering that the universe as a whole has far more structure and system to it than we've ever imagined. Now, from the mystical Rosicrucian viewpoint, this is not a surprise because we view the cosmos as back of the cosmic mind. And the cosmic mind has tremendous system and order. And it's driving that through the entirety of creation and through our holy temples of our body that we become one with. You know, it's often noted that to the modern physics, the quantum mechanics and the relativity, special relativity and general relativity have a lot of mystical aspects that the way that they see time and space reminds one of one's mystical experiences. And we've seen over time from the Aristotelian to the Newtonian to the general relativity and quantum mechanics and special relativity, increasing affinity with mysticism. But we'll see over time that as more and more paradigms develop in science, that they will become more and more aligned with mysticism because they're applying laws and principles that have been known by mystics, but in a particular detailed way. And I think you'll find this increasingly with the case with there being a cosmic axis and various levels throughout the universe that we apply in meditation and for the entirety of the cosmos. It's interesting too, this concept of center is one that comes up in mysticism in various ways. For example, Confucius and his disciples in the Analects, but also Shakespeare in his plays Julius Caesar, both write of persons who, like a pole star, about which the heavens appear to revolve, remain center through the exercise of the virtues, and thereby provides an exemplar and leadership to all those around him. In a way, that's the part of the ideal of the human being. Now, a third question is, how does becoming more sensitive to our body and mind through the practice of meditation help us? Because on the surface, it might appear, well, becoming more sensitive, isn't that going to cause me more distraction from being able to concentrate to accomplish tasks or do meditation? But actually, just the opposite. Becoming more sensitive is value. I know sometimes it's said too, oh, you're too sensitive. It's what we do with that sensitivity that's important. It'll assist us in our healing, assist us to be mastering of our life, because we're far more aware of what's going on within our body and minds and the cosmic mind. For example, we'll have more early warning signs and crucial information. Rosicrucians refer pain as a signal within the body, but we'll have more early warning signs in our relationships with others or environmental conditions. This allows healing and resolving to take place more because things can be nipped in their bud earlier or less things got less developed. Also in meditation, as we're aware of different things that need to be resolved, just the intent and going into that relaxation response and that spiritualization, that causes healing to take place. I've seen this time again and again in lives of students, but also with the psychological studies and psychologists I work with in research. They mentioned to me about randomized controlled trials they do on these very matters to they demonstrate this. Now, sometimes when if a person meditating for the first time, they may be initially discouraged by how much their mind wanders. But that's not due to the meditation. Meditation makes us aware of how much our minds are wandering throughout the day. It's just showing, if we've just stopped to take notice of it during meditation. So that allows that increased sensitivity to what our mind is doing in meditation. That's showing us what it's doing in general throughout our day. Can you imagine how much more mastery we can have when the mind is well directed? But I know as you've meditated daily over time, you find that you can have much more harmony and control of the mind. In fact, sometimes we also experience when we meditate that we fall asleep. Again, that's just pointing out what we need more sleep. It's quite common worldwide, and I've discussed this with various psychologists work about what some refer to as an epidemic or a great shortage of sleep or sleep deprivation. It's a serious matter. Meditation in its sensitivity makes us more aware that we need to sleep, and sometimes that will happen. But the sleep meditation is very restful and recharging and soothing and allows us to be more energized and then more able to do our tasks. Now, the fourth and final question I want to talk to you about is, does meditation transform not only our short-term states, but also our long-term traits? And the answer is yes. And by states, we mean transitory type of conditions of mind or body that may be briefly experienced. But by traits, what we're referring to, and these are the way it's used in psychology as well as in mysticism, is those are things that are staying. That's new things that we've developed, how we've transformed into. Now, one of the great things that can happen in meditation is that we come more quickly into what scientists refer to as the gamma wave state. And you'll see various designations for it. Often it's from about 30 to 100 hertz or 31 to 120 hertz or cycles per second. And that's a state in which the mind becomes much more integrated. And the different levels of consciousness are much more realized and work together, and all the faculties and systems in the body, whether it be with the heart, the nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, they work together. As we meditate more, we're in the gamma state more, not only during meditation, but throughout the day. And when we're perturbed from it, we come back to it more quickly. A variety of other things happen through neuroplasticity, with new neural connections made. The trillion that's there that sort of in a way match the universe and all its connections. Our brain volume increases. We have as longer term traits, not only a temporary states of calmness, but in the general way of being and peacefulness. And there's openness. As human beings, we're meant to be open. Yes, we have our senses to guide us and guard us, but often in mystical experience, we need to surrender to have those deep inner experiences. And that's why often our deepest spiritual experiences occur, sometimes in meditation, but often not, because we've had certain outer things that happen to us, something someone said or we see that disarms it temporarily to have that deep inner experience come forward that first came during the meditation experience. It didn't percolate all the way up to the subjective mind. Another long-term trait that changes, that we're more able to face ourselves and things that need to be changed in our life. You know, it's often been taught in meditation that our personality traits and traits, you're born with them, they don't change. But over the past 20 years, that viewpoint has been shown not to be correct. Something I discuss with various psychologists that I work with. And one of the main ways that this can change is through mindfulness and meditation. Things like in mastery of living, we need to be balanced in various desirable traits, like our degree of extroversion, a degree of introversion. Those things can be married over time and developed further. That may surprise many because it's often thought, well, you know, I don't think I can change this trait. And if we believe that, we'll tend to get stuck in things. And also in our lives, we can get stuck in thinking that this is the trait we always have or the way it has to be. But mindfulness meditation with various other things we learn in the order, visualization, various other techniques, counseling that's known through psychologists and so forth, through various modalities, these traits can be changed, and meditation is at the heart of it. I can also mention the things that change in us is that we become more creative, the long-term traits. We have self-acceptance, we're less judgmental of ourselves and others. We become more caring, because as we come into more of that heartfelt nature within ourselves, that divine within, it's fundamentally caring of an unconditional type. We also have the capacity to let go of self-negativity. And that's part of that I mentioned earlier, becoming unstuck. We find that we're avoiding situations in life more. That's an aspect of what psychologists call metacognitive development. We find that we have less ailments because our anti-inflammatory action and pain reduction is reduced, and anxiety and mood elevation is increased. As I mentioned, we have more attentional control so we can stay on task for our healing and the healing of others or whatever we need to do. So in other words, we have greater cognitive functionality. We find that we sleep better. And so that helps. All the important things that sleep does for us for our health is boosted as well. As I mentioned earlier, immune system. So yes, there's a great transformation that takes place, not only in our short-term states, but our long-term traits. We become more and more mature as human beings. We move closer to what Rosicrucians refer to as the rose-quartz state, the fully mature human being, more expressive of the cosmic mind. These are all some of the wonderful traits that are developed and part of the great adventure of life. This is all a process. It's not only the goal, but it's also the process. That's the thing that can happen in meditation too, is that we're more focused in the now. Yes, planning in the future, but we're not looking back with regret. We're not looking forward to things with anxiety, but more what we can do now. And we have much more sense of capacity and self-efficacy. So I'll say by way of conclusion, and I'll let Karen post the resources for you in the chat, both as pasted text, but also as a PDF attachment. We've looked at meditation in an in-depth way. We've considered some common and not so common questions on this topic. And we've continued to explore how meditation makes for the most direct and sure service and wise counsel in our daily lives and increases our well-being and capacity for service. Thank you.